If you've been on YouTube for a little bit, then you've probably seen that there's a plethora of videos out there telling you all the things you should be doing to grow your follower account and increase your engagement on Instagram. And don't get me wrong, these videos are great. We actually did one last month and people absolutely loved it. The problem with these kinds of videos is that many people watch them, but they don't actually get to implementing these strategies that are taught because, maybe it can feel daunting or hard or time consuming, unclear, or just a bunch of different things. And so I want to change that. I want you to actually leave this video and be able to implement something simply and quickly so that you can start getting more engagement on your Instagram content. We're gonna touch on 3 things that are hurting your chances of growing your audience. They're going to be things that you can start thinking about and implementing right after you watch this video. This video is brought to you by the free ebook, 10K Months with Instagram Stories. You can download it in the description. I'm Wendt, and I'm a 7-figure business coach and the founder of the Get Clients Now program, which has over 800 amazing students, plenty of which have actually been loving our trainings on Instagram, which you can see right here. For now though, let's get into our first tip. The first thing, and frankly what I think is the most important of them all, is not using Instagram Reels properly, or not even doing them enough in the first place. Now, if you're watching this video and you've only got a couple hundred followers, this tip is gonna be the most helpful for you. So the way that Instagram Reel works is by showing you content, not from people you follow, but from the types of posts you like. That means if someone is liking content that is related to your industry and what you tend to post about, the Reels that you create, even if you only have a small amount of followers, are gonna show up on their feed, even if they don't follow you. Basically, Instagram Reels is the literal perfect way to make targeted content to find your ideal audience and clients. This ties into our main point. Instagram Reels is simply a tool to be seen by more people, not something separate from your regular Instagram content. Think about it this way. Every single post that you make that isn't an Instagram Reel is a post where you're missing out on tons and tons of potential new followers from seeing it because you didn't make it into a Reel. So here's the real key. All you need to do is think about how you can transfer some of your normal posts on your page into a short video format. So here's a great example of one of our Reels. This is a simple topic, right? The revenue we hit in 2021. And this could have been a simple post with a picture of me where I write some copy about how I hit $1 million in revenue in 2020. And that would have worked fine, and it would have been seen by a few thousand people, right? Considering my audience. Because we thought about how we could turn it into a video form for an Instagram Reel, we got roughly an extra 995,000 extra views on that video, which also resulted in thousands of new followers. So another super simple example, right? This is a super simple topic, just sharing how I hit $1 million with some basic advice in video form. This video got 124,000 views, which is like 120,000 more views than if I had just posted it normally. Now, not every single Reel you post is gonna blow up, that's normal, but you're giving yourself the opportunity for one of them to take off and blow up and get you a bunch of followers. The moral of the story is to make sure you're repurposing as much content as possible into a short video format for Reels. That way, you can give yourself the best chance at getting more followers. All right, now I've got something super duper practical to give you. We're talking hashtags. Now, obviously there's no shortage of hashtag advice out there that goes super in depth, but like I said earlier, sometimes you can go too far in and get too into the rabbit hole with some advice. So what we're actually gonna do here is we're just gonna share the simple, implementable stuff that's worked super well for us. So what we do when we do hashtags is we use this awesome website called ingrammar.com, and we're gonna link to it in the description, obviously, but let me give you a little walkthrough of this. Okay, so super simple. What we're gonna do is, let's just say we're wanting to talk to female entrepreneurs. We're gonna put the hashtag female entrepreneur in here, and then it's gonna generate some hashtags with us. So it takes some time. But then what you can see here is frequently used hashtags, average, and rare. And all you'd have to do is select your hashtags, and then at the end, you just copy it, and then you can paste it in the description of your Instagram caption. When choosing the category of hashtags to choose from, it's super important that you don't use any of these super large hashtags, right? So don't use really big ones. When you use super large hashtags, there's actually a very small chance that anyone will see your post because so many other people are using it. You get lost in the noise. So we shoot for hashtags at or around the $250,000 marker as our highest number. And we're gonna pick a few from that category and then choose a few more from this lesser category, right? And we're gonna do that for the hashtags that relate to our industry but mostly hashtags that relate to exactly what we're posting about and talking about. So for us, that's usually putting in keywords like female entrepreneur, business owner, online business marketing, social media tips, general keywords like that. And then we also put like post specific keywords as well. So if it's a post about Instagram tips, we'll put in keywords like Instagram marketing, Instagram hacks, Instagram tips. Now, a quick note about hashtags. Please don't pour your focus into hashtags. Everybody loves them. But the truth is we spend about 5 minutes before we post something to collect these hashtags, and then we move on. Hashtags typically will not be the reason your post does well or doesn't do well. On some of our most viral posts, we've had hashtags and not had hashtags, and yet they've performed well in both scenarios. All the hashtags tend to do is give your post a little bit more chance of it doing well because a few more people finding your content, through those hashtags, but it's not too much. So if you're spending time worrying about hashtags, it's time not well spent, and it gives you the entirely wrong idea about content, right? It's not hashtags and algorithms usually that cause you to grow. It's the content itself that you put out. That ties perfectly into our last point here. Our final tip is another simple idea we want to plant in your head. We've been super practical with these past 2 tips, and they've been extremely tangible, right? But the mindset side of content creation is just important. For this tip, we want to shift your mindset around how you post on social media. I wouldn't teach something like this if it hadn't already made a fundamental difference in our content strategy, so trust me when I say that this is a really important step. And this tip can be summed up in 1 sentence. You need to detach from your content. What does that mean exactly, right? What do I mean by that? Well, I see a lot of people and a lot of our students in the Get Clients Now program, they have this issue where they'll continue to post the same content over and over and over again, even if it doesn't perform well. And oftentimes, right, they'll justify it in their head because they put a ton of work into the content, so it deserves to do well. But here's the thing though, right? The market doesn't know or really care how much time you put into making something look pretty or how much time you put into it at all. It cares about the message. Right, for example, this post here took 3 to 4 hours to put together. It's a very well-made, high-quality Instagram reel that should have performed great, and it only got about 10,000 views. But this post that literally took us 10 minutes to make got 124,000 views and hundreds, if not thousands of followers from it. And so the moral of the story is just because your content looks good or you put a ton of time into it doesn't mean it will do well. And that's why it's so important to detach. So once my team and myself, we create a piece of content and we post it, we just emotionally detach ourselves from it and how it performs, and we just analyze later how our audience has responded to that piece of content, and we change things around if they need to be changed. We're constantly changing our content day by day, and it never stays exactly the same as last time. Sometimes that's weird to hear for some people, right? Like I think sometimes people expect influencers with big follower counts to have figured out the algorithm and they just do their secret post strategies that only the people at the top know about, and that's why they do well. But that's obviously not the case, right? They're the ones who are changing their content the most, and that is why they're succeeding. So work on detaching yourself from your content's results. That way you can try out more posts, be unconventional without feeling worried about the results. If you're loving all these Instagram tips and you totally want more, you should check out this little guide that I made. It's how I teach my clients to make $10,000 months on Instagram. And it's got some really, really good content here, right? Just some solid, good stuff. Really, really helpful, juicy little PDF that you can download for free. I'm linking to it in the description. Definitely make sure you get a copy of it if you're interested in making money on Instagram. Totally free, my gift to you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any other videos. I'll see you in the next one.